Il Generale Della Rovere, Il Generale Della Rovere. No, we're not doing that. Hello there, CriterioNate here. Oh god, what number is it? 463. 463. Roberto Rossellini's Il Generale Della Rovere, or General Della Rovere. 1959, 132 minutes, black and white, monaural in Italian, and English subtitle. Oh god, Rossellini. I mean, okay, I think Rossellini, the whole neo-realist movement that he was into, I think it's best to say he just made extremely matter-of-fact movies. That's all I can describe these movies are like. His movies are extremely matter-of-fact. They tell a story, and they are just that. You know, there's little to no emotion. I mean, this one actually has some emotion in it, funny enough. Surprisingly, compared to the biopics you saw in the Eclipse series, to say nothing of not even The Flowers of St. Francis had a bit of emotion. But anyway, let's talk about this. So, Generale Della Rovere. So, it stars the one and only Vittorio De Sica, stepping away from those weird moments when he steps away from the directors and steps in front of the camera. And he plays this guy, Emanuele Bardone, he's kind of like this small-time kind of hustler. He tries to help people. It's in the middle of the war, and he lives in Genoa, and the Nazis are, I guess, preoccupying it or occupying it and all that. And he helps people gives them false hope as to whether or not people that are captured are going to come back or something like that. And he does it so that he gets money. He pretends to be this general, his sergeant or general or something like that, and eventually he ends up getting caught by the Nazis. And they figure out who he is and what he's been doing. He's been cheating people, and so he gets captured. However, they end up using him to get information from the prisoners that they've captured about the resistance. And so they make him out to be this General Della Rovere, who they accidentally shot at one point. At one point they shot the thing, and they didn't want him dead otherwise, because they can't get they want him captured so that he could give them information so that they could win the war and all that. And so they end up making him the general, and he has to pretend to be this guy, and he gets information from people. And I guess the people in the prison have never seen him, so that way then they completely believe him when he says, I'm General Della Rovere. And he ends up kind of getting into it a little too much, to the point where he ends up actually helping the prisoners and botching plans for them. And one point he ends up a note that was going to be delivered to the general. They capture the guy who did it. The Nazis capture the guy. They find the note in his shoe, and they end up, I guess, torturing the guy to death. And Emanuele is extremely distraught by this, and he ends up telling off the lead guard, Muller, I think his name is. And he ends up getting tortured. And one of the definitely more interesting scenes is that the janitor ends up seeing Bardone with a bloodied face after he's tortured, and they end up saying, they tortured Generale Della Rovere, and then the whole prison just goes crazy. In another reversal role, there's a scene where long before that, there's an attack, a battle going on outside the prison, and you can hear the bombs and gunfire outside, and the whole prison's in uproar and crazy and going crazy. And Bardone comes out and says, you gotta let me out. I gotta make this speech to calm down the men. So he comes out and he makes this really passionate speech, and then the whole place just goes quiet, and they just listen. And he goes back into his cell and prays. And yeah, so it's again, and in the end, he ends up dying for his people. You know, he ends up going to there's a bunch of them end up getting sent off to the execution in the firing squad, and he ends up going in front of them. And at one point, I guess I forget, I don't remember exactly how it works, but they end up writing a note, and the Germans see it, and at one point I think they were actually going to let him go or something, because of what he did or what he said, that they realized that he wasn't really a prisoner because they actually helped him in some way. I don't know. Rossellini's films are just all kinds of confusing, yeah. And if I had remembered to bring my phone in, I would have shown you the poster. I was looking at the poster on Wikipedia, and it's just one of those stupid posters where, like, they show a scene. It's basically a drawing of like a war explosion, and it shows like the shot of Bardone like being bloodied and like being carried by the soldiers, and underneath are the 3 women in the movie, the 3 women that he works with, and they're all sexed up and all that, and it's like, oh my god, it's like, it's not a sexy movie in any sort of way, but at the same time, sex sells, so they have to put the hot, big-breasted Italian women on the cover of your poster. So it's like, whatever. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. Again, if you're a fan of Rossellini's films, I'm not too crazy about his stuff. It's interesting, and it's interesting to see De Sica, again, as an actor. But overall, this is just the kind of stuff that I just really can't get into. It's not a bad movie per se, but it's just not my thing. So, I'm going to give this a B. I'm going to give this a B, and I'm sure all the negative comments are coming, but it's like, whatever, I gotta give it a B. It was interesting in places, it was entertaining in places, but overall, I think it just, it just doesn't, I need emotion, and there's not a crazy amount of emotion in this movie, but that's the thing about Rossellini. That's the way his movies work. So there you are. Anyway, yeah, B. Supplements. There's a visual essay called The Choice about the movie. There's interviews with Isabella Rossellini, Renzo Rossellini Jr., and Ingrid Rossellini, his children. They talk about working with him and their memories, because I guess they were all, I think, alive. And Renzo actually worked as like assistant producer or director or something like that on the film. And then there's also an interview with Adriano Apra, who was a film scholar, and then the trailer, and that's basically it. So, Il Generale Della Rovere, B. There you go. So anyway, yeah. So that's it for today. Tomorrow, I hope tomorrow. Don't hold your breath. Tomorrow we're gonna try and do Danton. We shall see. It's kind of a bit long, and I don't know how much time I'm gonna have tomorrow, but I will see what I can do. If I can do it, I will do it. And then if not, then definitely Sunday. And hopefully that tomorrow. Hopefully Sunday, Dores Kaiden. Dores Kaden. I keep calling it Kai. I don't know why I keep adding an I. And then, let's go ahead and bite the bullet here and find out. And then, hopefully, maybe, in the realm of the senses, of course, definitely Empire of Passion. And let's see. Go and check my account real quick at the library. And then I think Science is Fiction, the 23 films set is on its way. I know Wise Blood is on its way. I don't know about The Hit, though. The Hit I'm still wondering about. Let's check. Let's check the old account here. Go and pad out this video as long as humanly possible. Wise Blood is ready, because that came from my movie, my theater. I mean, my library. Science is Fiction is on its way, and the Realm of Senses is on its way. The Hit is on its way. Okay, so everything is on its way right now. And then I should probably go ahead and put a hold on the next set. I don't know what's next. Not, I don't know, it's not the pigs, pimps, and prostitutes. Oh, the go ahead and put a hold on the next Eclipse set, the Private Lives of Alexander Korda. So, anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Don't be a Nazi. That's all I can leave at that. You don't really need another moral, do you? Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow. Fingers crossed for Danton. And until then, goodbye.